Hey y'all. Let me put myself in the screen. Hey y'all. Hey, 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 hey. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let me put my there we go. There we go. There you go, L Teddy. What is going I need to bring this up because I can't even see what y'all commenting, God. Anyway, what's going on, people? As I get myself set up to be here for a while. We got so much to talk about today, people. What's up, y'all? What's up? Hey, Miss Trisha P. Hey, L Love. Thank you so much, my love. I got I got your gift. The I put the globe thing on my desk, but I got your gift. See, I got your card. We read it. Go back and watch our live from Thursday, and you can see the unboxing. So thank you so much, my love, for my birthday gift. That meant a lot. That meant a lot. It really made me smile. So thank you, my love. Oh, you up there now, Cole? Hey, Diamond Onyx. Just gonna go like everything. Thank you, Diamond Onyx. Hey, Tanya Boo. Hey, BR Burns. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Listen, we got so much to talk about. So very much to talk about. Um, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Just a lot going on, y'all. Just a lot. Hey, so Jeff, I have virtual therapy in 20 minutes, but I'll hang out until the all right. I don't want you to get triggered over here, Yeah. It's a real sugar spiky episode. I'm just warning you now, is a lot of sugar spikes in this episode of Silly Saturday. Hey, New Jones, my love. Hey, everybody, as y'all come and gather in the room, come on in and have a seat. Sit down and spell with us as we go about the business of talking about what has happened this week and, things that's been going on. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, I think I closed the wrong thing. Oh, well. Um, yeah, that didn't work. Um, so yeah, we're going to y'all can close all of that. I got some windows open on my computer, but I'm gonna close all of them because I know y'all know how my computer gets when I have too much stuff going on. It don't like to act right. So let me close some stuff and force it to act right. All right. So what is going on? Listen, hey Jason, Shondo to you. Shondo's in and about the chat. Everybody, let's put some Shondos in the chat as we get prepared to delve into all of this. Hey, Nicole Stevens, my love. So, yeah, we're about to break some of this stuff down. Ah, boy. What I'm trying to, hold off a little bit because it's so many sugar spikes in this episode that I just child. What's the snack? I'm drinking on um some white cran strawberry. But I think I might just need to stick with the Fiji. I've been guzzling these big 1.5 liter bottles of Fiji for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Like I got a whole bunch of 1.5 liter bottles of Fiji, and so I done drank this much already this morning. A mess. I'm gonna be using the bathroom all day. I might not even make it through this live without having to use the bathroom. But yeah, hey, prayed up. Listen, Fiji is my go-to. All right, y'all. So let's talk about some things. Let's start off with our Black History, little known Black History moment. Little known Black History moment. Oh, y'all know what? Y'all hold on just a second because I'm supposed to tell certain people that I was live. Hold on, let me do that now. All right, y'all. I apologize for that. There's a list of people. Hey, Amber, who be wanting me to let them know when I go live because their notifications ain't about shit over here down to the Google. Listen, if you see this long list of stories and topics that I have on today's agenda, you're gonna be like, El Teddy, we ain't got all day to be here with y'all, so I'll try to be as brief as I can with all of my stories, but y'all know how this stuff goes. You know how this stuff goes. We do the best we can, and then we go from there. So let's start with our little known. Where's my Black History fact? Y'all listen. Y'all hold on, cause my glasses are so freaking cloudy. I can't even see anything. Y'all hold on. No, make no sense. Can't even see it. Look like it's snowing. It looks like it's snowing through my glasses. That's how bad it is. Oh, sorry, y'all. So I can't. I have this pillow that I have on my, seat that I sit on. But it's like moved over or something. And you know how you get a pillow and it is, perfectly contoured to your buttocks. And so when it moves over, it feels awkward because the contours aren't there. So yeah, I had to, adjust it. Child, we got to be comfortable. We're gonna be here for a while, for a minute. All right, so I went and got tested for COVID again, and it came back negative. Good. We don't need nobody else catching the cocoa. Because one thing about the cocoa is people think that okay, I get it, I get over it, that's it. Neglecting the fact that cocoa has some real long-lasting residual effects that a lot of people don't take into consideration. That some of them can be almost permanent. So certainly we want that's why it's so important to err on the side of safety with regard to COVID, because people will be like, oh, well, these new variants aren't killing people. Yeah, but it's, making people's lives, not as easy. So we're glad that you are negative. My dad and brother and his family has it. Okay. Yeah, the cocoa is a no-go. All right. Where's my Black History fact? Oh, here it is. Little known Black History moment of the day. See, people got story listening to cocoa. It ain't just about just getting it when you have it. It's the lasting effects of the cocoa, and I think that's something that people are just now starting to realize. in the immediacy of so many people catching Omicron and so many people catching Delta and thinking, "Oh, okay, well, I didn't die, but hey, you could have some stuff that makes living less easy and more difficult." All right, so hey, Sticks girl, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been, my love? So let's talk about our little known Black History moment. Um, we are going to talk about America's first, some people would argue ever, but some people say it's America's only one. It's America's first and only one. I'm going to say stay tuned. Yeah, one of my friends still doesn't have their sense of smell and they got COVID almost a year ago. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Please remember to, okay. So it's the instance of America's first ever coup d'etat. What is a coup d'etat? It's a coup, it's an overthrow of the government. This was an actual successful coup d'etat and overthrow of the government. I don't think that you all, or some of you all may be aware, but a whole lot of people aren't aware of this. And I'm going to spend some time reading through this so you are aware of fully of what happened here. We hear so much about the Tulsa massacre. Um, and what happened with that in, I think that was 1920. I believe the Tulsa massacre was, somebody will fact check me on that. But more than 20 years prior to the Tulsa massacre was yet another massacre involving a town with affluent Black people. And that was in the great state of North Carolina, a part of the holy trinity of racism and white supremacy in these yet to be United States of America. I told you, people talk about a lot of some of these other states, but North Carolina historically has been a horrible place in terms of racial discrimination and all kinds of heinous things that they have going on in North Carolina. So, this is the Wilmington Massacre of 1898. It happened on November 10th, 1898. Put a 27 in the chat if you're familiar with this massacre. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not familiar with it. I just want to get a gauge for what you all know. So put a 27 in the chat if you're familiar with this. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not familiar with the Wilmington Massacre. So I'm going to tell you there were um, estimates of well over 300 Black people that were murdered and slaughtered on this day. Um, so let's talk about this. On November 10th, 1898, white supremacists murdered African Americans in Wilmington, North Carolina, and deposed the elected Reconstruction era government in a coup d'etat. It was the morning of November 10th, 1898, in Wilmington, North Carolina, and the fire was the beginning of an assault that took place 7 blocks east of the Cape Fear River, about 10 miles inland from the Atlantic Ocean. By sundown, Alex Manley was a Black man. Alex Manley's newspaper, the Daily Record, had been torched, and as many as 300 plus people had been murdered, and the local government that was elected 2 days prior had been overthrown and replaced by white supremacists. Oh, this is real. This is not a fictional event. This is real. Um, Lost in the fire that destroyed the Daily Record were the lives of Black citizens and the spirit of a thriving Black community, and also the most promising effort in the South to build racial solidarity. Before the violence, the port city on the Cape Fear River was remarkably integrated. Three out of the 10 aldermen were African American, and Black people worked as policemen, firemen, and magistrates. Hey, Tabitha. Okay. Democrats, the party of the Confederacy, as we know, vowed to end this, quote, Negro domination in the 1898 state legislative elections. Their strategy was to enlist men who could write, white journalists and white cartoonists at the time, men who could speak, white supremacists who whipped up emotions when they had these little rallies and stuff that they would have around the cities to, speak on the perils of the emerging Black prominent citizen, and also men who could ride in the form of this organization or this group called the Red Shirts. Prior to there being a Ku Klux Klan in the area, there was a militia, as some people will call it, or this white supremacist group called the Red Shirts. You can go look them up. It's very chronicled. And they would ride horseback and do all of these nefarious things across North Carolina and other states across the South. And they were just ruffians and just thugs that would ride horseback and do all kinds of heinous things, the lynchings and killings and so forth to Black citizens. They were called the Red Shirts. Keep them in mind. So their strategy was to get these groups of people involved: the journalists, the public speakers, and then the white supremacist groups like the Red Shirts. And they were going to use these. They vowed to use these people to end this, as they quote, Negro domination. Okay. The white supremacists used an editorial by Alex Manley, the editor of Wilmington's black newspaper, The Daily Record, to stir a firestorm at the time of the elections. The editorial responded to a speech by a Georgia socialite who promoted, lynchings as a method to, quote, protect women's protect woman's dearest possession from the ravening human beast. Let me read that again. I butchered that. Hold on, y'all, because I want y'all to get the gist of what's happening here. Alex Manley was the editor of the Daily Record, and Alex Manley wrote an editorial that was in response to a speech given by a Georgia socialite. And in that speech, the Georgia socialite promoted lynchings. And the promotion of these lynchings was a method, quote, to protect a woman's dearest possession from the ravening human beast, end quote, meaning to protect white women and their purity from black men who he said was raping them and taking their innocence. Yeah. Many condemned condemned lynching and pointed out the hypocrisy of describing black men as, quote, big burly black brutes, end quote, when in reality it was white men who regularly raped black women with impunity. He added that some relations between the races were consensual. White supremacist rallies kept white outrage at the editorial at a fever pitch. Former Confederate Colonel Alfred Waddell gave a speech suggesting that white citizens should, quote, choke the Cape Fear River with carcasses, end quote, if necessary, to keep African Americans from the polls. On election day, the Red Shirts patrolled black neighborhoods with guns. Democrats won every seat, but these were state legislative seats. African Americans still maintained power in Wilmington's city government. Some 800 white citizens, led by Waddell, met at the county courthouse and produced the White Declaration of Independence, which stated, quote, "We, the undersigned citizens, do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin." End quote. Oh yes. Oh, this happened in 1898. These white citizens in Wilmington, led by a former Confederate Colonel Alfred Waddell, produced their own White Declaration of Independence. And in it, they said, "We, the undersigned citizens, do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin." End quote. The following day, November 10th, Waddell led a mob of 2,000 armed men to the Daily Record and burned the building to the ground. Rumors tore through the black neighborhoods. The the ignited building at the corner of Fourth and Hartnett, the tinderbox ignited at the corner of Fourth and Harnett, where African Americans at Walker's grocery store faced off against white men at Brunjay's saloon. A shot was fired and someone yelled, "White man killed." Gunfire erupted. Unarmed black men, unarmed black men scattered in all directions and were gunned down. Violence quickly spread. The Wilmington Light Infantry, the White Government Union, and the Red Shirts poured into the black neighborhoods with rifles, revolvers, and Gatling guns. As bullets were still flying, Waddell threw out the democratically elected aldermen and installed his own. This happened. This really happened. The hand-picked men elected Waddell as their new mayor. The black leaders were jailed, quote, "for their own safety," and then forcibly marched to the train station under military escort and sent out of town. Let me back this up for y'all and let y'all know what just happened, okay? You had a former Confederate colonel who got upset on November 8th. They had elections. It was election day. They had elections. The white people did what they thought they was necessary, which was elect all of their people to the legislative offices, the state and national legislative offices, but the cities elected officials remained black. The white people wanted no parts of it, so they wrote their own white Declaration of Independence. Right, they wrote their own white Declaration of Independence, where they promised that they was not going to be under the rule and governance of people of African origin. Okay, they would not be ruled by them. The following, and that happened the next day on November 9th. They delivered that to the county courthouse. On November 10th, they went and burned Alex Manley's newspaper, the building where his newspaper, the Daily Record, was housed, to the ground. Then they went to the corner where there was a black supermarket and a saloon there, and there were black people gathered because people had started to hear about the burning of the Daily Record, and there was this standoff between unarmed black men who were just there discussing what was going on, and 2,000 plus white men who had come guns ablazing. And what happens then? A shot was fired. Mind you, the black men had no guns. The black men had no guns. They were unarmed. But a shot was fired. Excuse me. Somebody yelled, "White man killed," and the rest is history. Bloodbath, massacre ensues. They end up having all of the black aldermen put in jail, all of the elected officials put in jail for their own safety, these newly installed and appointed white city officials, quote, elect, how you have a whole nother, unsanctioned election that's beyond my level of comprehension, and put Colonel Waddell, former Confederate Colonel Waddell, in position as mayor. They then take those black officials out of jail, take them to the train station, and tell them, y'all got to leave. Thank you for coming. Please ride safely. After the riot, thousands of black citizens fled. In 1900, the North Carolina legislature effectively stripped African Americans of the vote through the grandfather clause and ushered in the worst of the Jim Crow laws. Please be clear. This is why it is important that we learn history, because exactly what took place back then, well over 120 plus years ago, is exactly what we have going on right now. It's what we got going on. I just read it for you. They had three groups that were riding through black neighborhoods on election days. I just read it for you. They had, let me read it for you again. All right. So on election day, the red shirts patrolled black neighborhoods with guns. With guns. Where was I? It was three groups. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that I got the names of the three groups that I read. I just read it. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. The Wilmington Light Infantry, the White Government Union, and the Red Shirts. They had these people patrolling the polls. We just talked about the governor of the state of Florida and now also the governor of the state of Texas talking about having a police force simply for election polls. The reason they want to not teach history is so that you don't know that this has already happened. They're taking a playbook out of history. That's why they don't want you to know history. These people wrote their own white declaration of independence, and I'm going to read it verbatim again so y'all hear the words that they wrote in this. We, the undersigned citizens, do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin, end quote. How is this not a repeat of history? And why do I say that? Because after the election of former President Barack Hussein Obama, please understand that white people across the fruited plains had their own white Declaration of Independence, where they essentially said, quote, we, the undersigned citizens, do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin. Please tell me that's not what we got going on right now. Because that's what's going on. And you have essentially, you had a coup d'etat where they had democratically elected officials that were basically put out of power, put in jail, and sent out of the city, and had a nefarious and subversive group come in, install their own um, leaders, elect their own unduly elected mayor, and put the old leaders out. And it stood, and nobody in the American government did anything to stop it. Rather, they went further, and we know they hardened Jim Crow laws and essentially took all of the right to vote from Black people, which is what we have going on right now with all of the voter suppression laws sweeping the country. This is serious, people. This is why it is important that we don't remove history, that we don't obviate things that happened in our history, because then people will think that these things are an anomaly when these things have happened before and can and will happen again. That's our little known Black history fact of the day: the Wilmington Massacre of 1898, America's first, and I'm going to say first, coup d'etat, because I believe that it's going to happen again. You notice I haven't said anything about the whole when Joe Biden and his administration decided that they was going to go over there and kill one of the ISIS leaders. I'm not going there because y'all got so much going on around the world, as if we got any room to be trying to dictate what any country does within their own borders. But we want to come bother them about what they got going on when we ain't got none of our shit together. None of it. But we got time to be going over there. That was our little known Black history moment of the day: the Wilmington Massacre, November 10th, 1898. America's first coup d'etat, successful coup d'etat. Yeah, this happened on our soil in these yet to be United States of America. I'm trying to figure out, y'all, do I go through all of the long grocery list of sugar spikes first and end on a good note? Or do I do good, funny stuff first and then go sugar spiky? Y'all let me know what y'all want. What was your question? I didn't see your question, Sticks, girl. I'm sorry. I don't see your question. Oh, would you consider the Civil War a coup d'etat? I know, because for it to be a coup d'etat, they would have to take over the current American government, overthrow the current American government, put all of their leaders out, and install their own government on top of it, which is what happened in Wilmington. So I don't consider the Civil War a coup d'etat. So y'all let me know what y'all want. Do I do sugar spiky first and end on a light note and funny and comedic note? Or do we start funny and light and then go sugar spiky? Y'all gotta let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. Because I can, do either. I can do either. Start with the sugar spikes. Jason says start with sugar. Sugar. It's that sugar. Well, I was supposed to bring a snack over here. I was eating on a snack earlier. Go get my snacks to regulate my sugar. It's that sugar. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all want. Y'all being real quiet. I need y'all participation. Do y'all want the sugar spikes first? Oh boy. What was I eating? I'm glad you asked. Y'all know I like these little gummy unicorns from Dollar General. They be so good. They're so addictive. Don't judge me. MVA and you said sugar spikes. They did. We ended up with Jefferson Davis as president of the Confederate. But the United States government was still in place. Six. Well, that's the difference. That they established their own separate government. In order for it to be a true coup d'état, they would have to take over the American government. They would have had to have taken Abraham Lincoln out of all, put him out of office and so forth, and established Jefferson Davis as the new president of the United States. All right. I'm gonna do the sugar spike stuff first, and then we can end on a more comedic note. Get sugar spiky. So, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will enter our sugar spike moment of the show. Please gather your snacks to regulate your sugar levels. These are so good. It is our sugar spike moment of the show. All right. Can I get some sugar spike emojis and sugar spike hashtags, please? As we're about to spike out. mm. Mm. So, we're gonna dive right deep, right over into the deep end. We're not gonna even we're not gonna even sugarcoat. We're not gonna go to the shallow end. We're not gonna try to, ease our way in. We're doing a cannonball into the deep end of these sugar spikes. Let's talk about Laquan not Jesus. We could talk about Laquan McDonald and the fact that, oh, let me put myself back on screen. I'm sorry, y'all. Not Laquan McDonald, and the fact that the officer who killed Laquan McDonald was let out early. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Amir Locke. Yes, y'all knew I was going in. Y'all knew I had to talk about Amir Locke. Had to get to Amir Locke. Amir Locke, once again, and let me put his picture up for you all. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim. Apple slices with peanut butter is delicious. Here is a photo. If you're not familiar with the Amir Locke story, you should be. This is Amir Locke, who is no longer with us. Amir Locke. So, once again, in the great state of Minnesota, in Minneapolis, we have another Black man that was executed and murdered at the hands of the police force in and around Minneapolis, Minnesota. You got Philando Castile years ago. You got George Floyd. You got Dante Wright just outside of Minneapolis. And now we have Amir Locke. This isn't on. And see, this is what saddens me because if you remember, right on this very show, it might have been on the politics of it all. No, I think it was on a whatever it was. No, it was on the politics of it all. That's what it was. Excuse me. On this very channel, we talked about how in the very same city of Minneapolis, remember we talked during elections last November about question 2 that was on the ballot in Minneapolis, which was a ballot initiative which talked about doing away with the current police force and forming another entity or organization that would be charged with protecting the citizenry and rethinking the whole police force down there to Minneapolis, Minnesota, having the citizenry involved with the elected officials and so forth. They're really rethinking um, what's going on with policing in Minneapolis. And that initiative did not pass. And you had some of our people preaching against that because the police unions are in their pockets and in their ears and telling them if you don't vote this down, we're not going to support you in the next election. And so you end up having it where even people who are allegedly on our side and even black people are saying no, stick with the police force, the very same police force that is responsible for one of the longest genocides in the history of mankind, the genocide of people of African descent in these yet to be United States of America. Now, but y'all didn't want that Minnesota. Y'all didn't want that. Oh no, y'all let the people get in y'all ear, talk to y'all, and y'all voted that down. And now what do we have? Another black man that was gunned down, murdered. Now, let me give you some of the details, okay? A black man and legal gun owner in Minnesota was fatally shot by a police officer this week. It happened Wednesday. This week, after a Minnesota police SWAT team acted on a no-knock warrant and startled the sleeping man who appeared on video to grab his firearm in reaction. Now, he was asleep. I've seen there's video. There is video body cam footage of it. I'm not going to put it on this channel for obvious reasons. However, if you go look it up, if you follow Ben Crump on social media, he has it on his social media. And if you go look up Amir Locke, Amir, it's his first name, Locke, it's his last name, you can easily find the body cam footage. Um, the encounter left 22-year-old Amir Locke dead. The encounter that left 22-year-old Amir Locke dead took place in a matter of about 9 to 10 seconds. Body cam video released Thursday night by the Minneapolis Police Department shows the moment officers quietly entered an apartment door early Wednesday morning and began shouting at Locke, who was asleep on a friend's couch and wrapped in a blanket. Police search warrant officers yelled in the video as they stormed the residence. Bright flashlights shining on the couch where Locke is sleeping. An officer is seen kicking the couch, which appears to jolt Locke awake. Locke then tries to turn around and stand up, but wrapped in a blanket and can be seen holding a gun. Officer Mark Hanneman fires 3 shots, killing Locke. Listen, this happened. If you watch the video, when you first see the video, they have to slow it down because it happens so fast that it could slip by. So the video I saw had it slowed down at first and then had it in real time. So let me just describe to you what happens. You see the police officers, they had a key. This wasn't the kind where they got used a little battering ram to bust open the door. They had a key. They had a key and they quietly opened the door so as to, be stealthy and not let anybody know that they were coming in. They literally, you watch them slowly and quietly unlock the door with the key. They all go in there, flashlights flashing. The boy is wrapped like completely. He sleeps like I sleep, because when I sleep kind of wrapped up in the cover, like whole head to toe, wrapped up in like a cocoon. That's how he was, in this big blanket on the couch, wrapped in this like cocoon. It's six something in the morning. He's, you in that good sleep, sleep. And the police bust in there, yelling, screaming, flashlight. You just waking up out of deep sleep, all disoriented, flashlights in your eyes. He probably had the gun on him when he was sleeping. He was licensed to, right, the REM sleep. And he literally is trying to get unraveled from this blanket that he is wrapped in after they don't. Oh, I forgot the part. He, even when they came in and they yelled, he was still asleep. So one of the police officers, you watch him kick the couch where he was sleeping to wake him up. He kicks the couch with his foot to wake the boy up. And the boy is, who's wrapped in this blanket cocoon type thing, gets up. And what happens is he's trying to get up. It's a whole lot going on. Has the handgun on him. Soon as they see the handgun, bam, 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 and the boy is gone. Now they say that he later died at the hospital. He got shot twice in the chest and once in the wrist. But like soon as he tries to get up and they see that there's a gun, boom, 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 he's dead. It happened in like 9 seconds. If somebody is in your house and you don't know that they should be in your house, don't you have every reason and right to arm yourself and try and take them out? Now, even if you say, okay, that wasn't his house, that was his friend's house, but yet and still, if you are asleep in a place where you feel like, okay, it's safe to be here, this is my friend's house, maybe, I don't know the whole indications or implications as to why he was at the first house. Maybe he was house sitting. Maybe the friend went out of town and he, I don't know. Maybe the friend was or was not there, but the boy was asleep. And when you get woken up out of your sleep like that and people yelling at you crazy flashlight, you don't know what's going on. So you have every right to defend yourself. Let's continue. Officer Mark Hanneman is the officer who fired the 3 gunshots, killing Locke. Now, here's a couple things. There is a police report. So come to find out, Amir Locke is not even the person on the freaking warrant. Let me say that again. Amir Locke is not even the person that they were looking for. I'm going to put that out there. Amir Locke's name is not on said warrant. He's not on the warrant that they were serving. The warrant that they were serving does not have Amir Locke's name on there. I keep reiterating this for a reason. The police are supposed to announce themselves before they bust in your home. Even if it's a no-knock warrant, which I think are some of the most illegal things. Well, I guess it's legal, but should be should be illegal. Hey Yana, thank you for coming out the bushes, my love. Police, even if they're gonna use battery rams or whatnot, they are supposed to announce themselves for your safety and for their own safety. Because they know if somebody breaks in your home, you have every right to defend yourselves. If you watch the video, they did not do that. They purposely, I told you, they went into the house very quietly. They quietly stick the key in and quietly, slowly turn and unlock the door so as to not let him know that they were entering. Then, once they get inside and they have all of their troops and thugs inside, that's when they scream, police, search warrant. Hey, boo, that's not how this is supposed to work. But on their police report, conveniently, they said that, oh, they announced themselves prior to entering. Really? Really? Hey, boo. Hey, it's me, D. Hey, my love. Amir Locke's name was not on the search warrant. The police report states that they, quote, clearly and loudly announced themselves when they entered the residence, which is against their own policy because they're supposed to do that prior to entering the residence. And even if that's the case, if I'm in my deep sleep, and I'm woken up 6 o'clock in the morning with people yelling and screaming at me and flashlights in my face and all kinds of stuff, what the heck? What you expect me to do? I don't know where they got the key from, Tanya. I'm assuming management or whatnot. I don't know. I do not know. Um, they said that Locke pointed a gun at them. The boy ain't point no gun at him because if you watch the video, he was trying to get up out this doggone blanket cocoon. And when you slow it down, the gun is pointed down and not up at them. So that's a blatant lie. So where am I? The killing. I'm sorry. Police said Locke pointed a loaded gun, quote, in the direction of the officers, end quote. An incident report said he had two wounds in the chest and one in the wrist. The killing prompted outrage in Minneapolis, where prominent activists confronted the mayor and interim police chief at a news conference Thursday. Nakima Levy Armstrong, a civil rights attorney, called the city's release of information, quote, the anatomy of a cover up. Governor Tim Walz called Locke's death, quote, a tragedy, and said it showed the need for further examination of no-knock warrants. This is a mess. A mess. A mess. Where am I? Mayor Jacob Frey said DeRay McKesson, a prominent activist, and Peter Kraska, a professor at the School of Justice Studies at Eastern Kentucky University, will work with the police department on possible changes to the policy. Frey's office said both men helped shape Breonna's law in Louisville and have spearheaded changes to unannounced entry policies nationwide. His office said that under the moratorium, a no-knock warrant can only be used if there's an imminent threat of harm, and even then the warrant must be approved by the chief. If you go look at the body cam footage, y'all, it's yeah, it's damning, damning. So I don't know how this is going to end, but I am going to say this. Hey, Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically, where we keep having these things happen. You had the chance to really get in there and have real police reform. You had the opportunity to say, we're going to do away with the Minneapolis Police Department and have true and real police and criminal justice reform and form an entity. Now, they didn't say that they didn't want police at all. That wasn't what the ballot initiative about. It was about restructuring and rethinking the police force there and having a new entity and organization with which to protect the citizens of Minnesota. Hey, quintessential, my love. Yeah, you better go on to that chapter meet, honey. Go ahead. Go ahead. Put on that blue blazer. Go ahead. Um, but yeah, something has to give. And in the case where they have the opportunity for there to be real change, you have people on both sides, on the left and the right, screaming and shouting, "Oh, don't do away with the police force. Vote no on question 2," when which proves that the people in positions of power want no parts of doing away with the police force. They want no parts of real police reform and criminal justice reform. They just want talking points. Oh yeah. Oh, Jason, you know the smear campaign is coming. You know how this baby, they about to go back all the way to when he was in kindergarten and talk about all of the horrible and nefarious things that Amir Locke had done. I don't care what Amir Locke did. None of that required you killing him, especially when you're serving a warrant and he's not even on that warrant. A mess. I told y'all we was diving right in. Diving right in. Amir Locke, ladies and gentlemen. Amir Locke. We will monitor this and see where this goes. But once again, you have police killing a black man and then lying afterward to try and cover up the lies. And see, they waited to release the body cam footage because they knew people were going to be looking for it. And they wanted to give those gentlemen an opportunity to get their story together. I'm sure they probably were at the police station showing them the body cam footage, the slowed down version, and say, listen, y'all need to come up with y'all story for all of this that we see on this body cam footage. So when we do have to release the cam footage, it will show. Y'all will have an explanation for any and all these things. I'm telling you, that's what happened. A mess, a goddamn mess. The man is guilty of being asleep. The man ain't did nothing wrong. This reminds me of when the what's the black man he's of Haitian American descent in Texas where the white officer shot him in his own house. God, I can't think of that man's name. But y'all know the case that I'm talking about. They found the white woman, the white officer guilty. A mess. A damn mess. I almost called the man name. God. Mm. Almost called his name. Well, since we're already spiking, go ahead and take another. Y'all see, I just ate another one of my snacks because we're about to spike out. Thank you, Volvo Botham, Gene. Thank you, Volvo. I knew one of y'all was gonna come with the name. Thank you. So this is according to thehill.com. Texas school district is being asked to remove Michelle Obama biography after parent complaint. Because this is what y'all got going on. This is the Pandora's box that y'all opened. Let me say that for you again. Texas school district being asked to remove Michelle Obama biography after parent complaint. Ladies and gentlemen, please recalibrate your sugar levels because I'm about to read this article and your levels will begin to spike. A Texas school district has reportedly said it will not remove a biography about Michelle Obama written for children from its libraries following a complaint from a parent who called it, quote, leftist indoctrination, end quote. A parent earlier this week demanded the book Michelle Obama, Political Icon by Heather E. Schwartz be removed from Katy Independent School District libraries, alleging it, quote, unfairly paints former President Trump as a bully and makes white girls feel ashamed of themselves. Let me read this again for y'all. A parent earlier this week demanded the book Michelle Obama, Political Icon by Heather E. Schwartz be removed from Katy Independent School District libraries, alleging it, quote, unfairly paints former President Trump as a bully and makes white girls feel ashamed of themselves. This is what y'all got going on. The book is among 86 titles challenged by parents in that district this year, according to an NBC News tally, with most of them centered around race, sexuality, or gender. The inquiry cited was submitted by one parent of the over 89,500 children the school district serves. KDISD Communications Manager Maria Corrales de Pena wrote in an email. Quote, contrary to suggestive media reports, the book was never considered for removal, nor removed at any point from district libraries, end quote. The parent in their complaint said they believed the book was written to indoctrinate children into, quote, the leftist movement with a negatively slanted view of another president, and taught reverse racism by warning young white girls to believe that the way they talk is culturally unacceptable in today's society. End quote. You mean similar to the way in which black people have always been told that our speech and vernacular and the way that we talk and our colloquialism is not accepted and is as you say culturally unacceptable. You mean in that same regard? They listen. Twitter be on it. They got the form. They have the form on Twitter that the parent filled out. A mess. A mess. A mess. In a statement on Thursday, Schwartz, the author of the book, said she was, quote, shocked that anyone would want to ban her book. This is a nonfiction book that doesn't strike me at all controversial. I take great pains in my work to present fact-based information and avoid any political slant, end quote. That didn't stop them from banning a whole lot of other books that had to deal with black people or Hispanic people or LGBTQIA plus people. So why did you think that you would be any different? And the only reason, let's be clear, that this book was not banned is only because it's the former first lady. If it was another, I'm sure they get rid of all of the other biographies of beautiful black queens and kings from out of those good libraries. Let's just be very clear, fiction or nonfiction. A mess. A mess. That's what y'all got going on. Did you, Jason? Did you go look up the form? Like you can see the form that the lady filled out. It's listen. It's a mess, a goddamn mess. This is what y'all got. We want really B and I have been screaming from the rafters on Teacher Project 2.0. We warned y'all. We tried to tell y'all this was going down the slippery slope. We tried to tell y'all. We've been screaming from the rafters, warning y'all for months now. This is just getting to mainstream media. We've been telling y'all this for months now. So the form that you fill out if you want to get books removed in the great school district of Katy Independent School District is called the Request for Reconsideration of Instructional Resources form. And they got it all. The lady got page numbers and all. It's one of the questions says, question number one says, to what in the material or resource do you object? Please be specific. The parent wrote pages 24 and 25, portrayal of the election between Clinton and Trump as negative and extremely biased. Trump and the Republican Party are bullies. Several pages reference Michelle Obama feeling excluded from sounding like a from quote sounding like a white girl end quote because her and her family valued in education. It's just, I mean, they got the whole formula. Listen, y'all can go look it up. Um, a mess, a mess, a mess. Hey, Cams. Oh, you a night owl? What you be doing at night, Cams? Hey, Cams. What you be doing over there at night? Inquiring minds want to know. Hit me up in the DMs and let me know. What's up, Cam? What's up? Um, yeah, but that's what y'all got going on. That is what y'all got going on. Dear God above, I'm trying, y'all. But I told y'all we getting the sugar spike moments out of the way early, and then we're gonna get to some more lighthearted stuff. In more news of the death, murder of black men, and the genocide of our people across the fruited plains. Many of you all are probably familiar with the with the case of Kendrick Johnson down there in Valdosta, Georgia. The young man. Let me put up his picture. I know I have it. I think I had his picture queued for y'all for the people because sometimes when you see a picture, it'll remind you. That's Kendrick Johnson right there. And so some of you all may be familiar with his situation where he ended up dying. He was in this rolled up mat, and he was found in this rolled up mat in the gym, and his feet were dangling out of the. He had suffocated to death, and his feet were dangling out of one end of the rolled up mat, and there was blood on his socks, and there was blood on his shoes, the same shoes that did not that were not on his body when his body was found. But they said that, oh, he just jumped in and suffocated to death. But if that was the case, why was his shoes off? And so the mom had an independent autopsy done, which concluded that foul play was involved and it wasn't just suffocation, because they were saying that he was trying to jump in there to get his shoes, which he had left in the mat, and he had got stuck and suffocated to death. And we know there's some white boys that was that time and time again they keep exonerating these white boys for probably what is the murder of this young man. So recently, the sheriff of Lowndes County, where Valdosta, Georgia is located, did his own investigation and pulled out 17 boxes of evidence that was given to him, not evidence that he went and sought out to add to what was already there, but evidence that was given to him, some 17 boxes. You ain't, what kind of investigating is this if you just leave it to what's given to you and not try to go and do your own research and do more investigation to get more evidence? But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Anyway, he recently came out and said, oh, after doing investigation, there's no foul play, everything is clean and hunky dory. And the mom came out and said, nah, we don't want no parts of that. We don't believe no parts of that. So now, granted, the sheriff was not in office when this happened. I want to say this was 2013. Um, that this happened. I think it was 2013 that this happened. So the sheriff was not in office. And he had a last week he had a 16-page report that came out saying that there was no evidence to show that anyone else was responsible for his death. Right. So now, um, Sheriff Polk, his first name is Sheriff Ashley Polk, is now offering $500,000 of his own money for info about Kendrick Johnson's death. Really, really, a mess. I, I, I don't know what y'all want me to what do y'all want me to do with this? I'm not gonna spend any more time on this ass clown. So now you offering $500,000 of your own money to him for any information regarding his death. Why don't you use that money to do some real investigation and research? You fucking ass clown. I'm with you, Tabitha. Where you getting this $500,000 from? And all of this alleged money, if you real shit, you need to be using that money to do more investigations of your own. Mind you, the Justice Department also was involved in this at the time, and they fumbled the ball on this as well. He ain't got $500,000 of his own money, Diamond Pearl Jam, because he knows ain't nobody. He's Washington say he knows, but he's expecting that nobody's going to come up with anything. Somebody should go and do the investigation, the real investigation, and come up with how this really happened and force him to give them the $500,000. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna spend no more time on that because that'll make me spike out. I ain't got it to do. I don't have it to do with him right now. That will make me spike the hell out. I will spike all the way the hell out. Moving on. In more cases of police doing bad things and saying the wrong thing. I don't want to read the headline for this story because the headline for this story makes it seem comedic and comical when every parts of this story does not sit well with me. So I'm gonna just read the story and not give y'all the headlines, okay? A Georgia police department jokingly encouraged people to turn in their bad exes on Valentine's Day. In a post made on Facebook, Rockmart Police Department suggested turning in ex lovers who may have warrants or information on drugs. Quote, do you have an ex Valentine and know they have outstanding warrants? Do you have information that they are driving with drugs in their car? Give us a call with their location and we'll take care of the rest. End quote, the police department stated. In exchange, the exes who get turned in will have a night that, quote, the police department starts off with a set of limited edition platinum bracelets, free transportation with a chauffeur, a one night minimum stay in luxurious five-star accommodations, and professional glamour shots that will be posted online for all to enjoy. End quote. Now, the police department later admitted this was a joke, but y'all know that ain't how this goes. They want somebody to really do that. And the fact that y'all are joking about this when so many of us have been murdered, butchered, and slaughtered at the hands of police departments all across the fruited plains is sickening. That ain't nothing for you to joke about, Rockmart Police Department. That shit is disgusting and sickening. Because you really want that to happen. And they put it out there as a tweet and then backpedaled and pussy popped off of it saying, oh, it was a joke. Oh, it was a joke. No, bitch. I don't see that as a joke. And please be clear. At the moment that one of the um, citizens does this, they will gladly, like they say, take care of the rest. That shit is triggering. And the fact that these ass clowns are over here joking about this. Like, my mind goes to a whole 45-minute rant about the fact that in most of these Bible Belt states, you have a whole lot of interracial relationships. And a lot of these white women who are exes of black men would love to. Mm-mm, mm-mm, I'm spot. Nope, 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 nope. Do not engage, L. Teddy. Do not engage. Do not engage. Let's regulate our sugar levels. Nope, nope. Do not engage. Nope. Y'all about to make me go. Mm-mm. I'm not doing this. Mm-mm. We're not going to engage. We're not going to engage. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong one. I put up the wrong thing. We're not going to engage. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. That's a mess. That's a goddamn mess. That's a goddamn mess. So Jeff, we've been spiking out for about an hour now. It's so many sugar spike moments. What do y'all want from me? God, I'm not going to engage that. Nope. Mm-mm. 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 Now, I told y'all I was going to have an update um on this story of the Brian Flores lawsuit against the plantation, the NFL. Right, we damn near damn sugar coma at this point, a diabetic coma at this point, Yana. So remember the NFL quickly came out and said that this lawsuit has no merit, which is the biggest joke ever. Them saying that Brian Flores' lawsuit um against the NFL for racial discrimination and the disparity of hiring of black and minority coaches across that plantation. And then the NFL came right on out real quick and said that there was no merit to this lawsuit. Well, they might want to backpedal off of that because now there's a witness to corroborate that has come forward. Um, a witness has come forward to corroborate Brian Flores' story, according to NFL Network Cameron Wolf. Um, I spoke with a witness who said he heard Steve Ross offer Brian Flores $100,000 for every 2019 loss. Flores' team says they have corroborating evidence, including messages from General Manager Chris Greer. If proven, the integrity of the game is in question. The Dolphins have denied all allegations. Now, I told y'all Hugh Jackson has already come out and says that he had the same thing happen to him when he was head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He's now head coach of Grambling State University football team. But when he was head coach of the Cleveland Browns, he says similar things happen to him. And many are expecting, and some people have said that he's pretty much kind of said he will, but many are, he hasn't officially yet that I'm aware of. But many are expecting him to join Brian Flores in this class action lawsuit. Now, what I'm waiting for is, you know who I want to hear from? I want to hear from my frat brother. Um, Not my frat brother Colin Kaepernick. I want to hear from my frat brother Mike Tomlin, another great Kappa man. But Mike Tomlin is the only black head football coach right now. And his job security is not really at stake at this point. And so I want to hear what he has to say. Now, I'm not saying that he needs to join in on this class action lawsuit, but I definitely want to hear his um, thoughts on this situation because this is real. This is absolutely real. And as much as the NFL wants to say there's no merits in it, we've all seen the text messages. Bill Belichick didn't just go pull that shit out of the air. Now, I wonder how much Bill Belichick is being paid, told, and forced to backpedal and pussy pop off of that whole thing and come out and say, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean that Dable had the job. I was just, nah, bro, you meant exactly what you did. You know they're gonna come up with a way to try to say that Bill Belichick wasn't saying what he was saying, which was the fact that Brian Dable had already gotten the job even before, um, even not Brian Dable. What is Dable's first name? I think it is Brian. Yeah, it is Brian. Brian Dable had gotten the job even before Brian Flores had gotten an interview. Right, Jay Z, who said that we need to move on. It's easy for people when you're a part of the three comma club to come out here talking about, oh, we need to move on. It's not that bad, really. I want to, I want to hear you. I want to hear the Jay Z from 1994 and 95 say that we need to move on. Will that Sean Carter say the same thing? I just want to know. Hmm. You know it, but see, and I want to see what the NFL does because Stephen Ross still has ownership of an NFL team. And now, because remember, they always talk about how the integrity of the game is so important. We have to protect the integrity of the game. Really? Because it's been proven by multiple sources now that there's no integrity in the game. That what you have is this owners forcing black coaches to throw games. Don't try your guy Jay Z. No, your guy Jay Z, when we have serious situations going on in the NFL, shouldn't jump into the fray and shouldn't jump into the commentary about what's going on in the NFL, specifically with regard to what happened to my frat brother Colin Kaepernick, and say that there's nothing to kneel about. Or we don't have anything. There's no reason for us. There's nothing to see here that we need to move on. No, fuck you, Jay Z. And I like Jay Z as an artist. But fuck you if you continue to sit up here and proliferate what white supremacists and racist ass white people want to hear, which is a black man saying nothing to see here. There's no reason for us to protest. There's no reason for us to be upset. Sure, that's easy for you to say. But for us, who's still out here being gunned down, for us who's still out here being discriminated against and profiled and not allowed into certain arenas, that's not the truth. Sorry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. I had a moment. He tried something new, but what is he suggesting? Because he haven't suggested anything for us to do. And last time I checked, Jay Z isn't at the forefront of trying to change uh, where we are racially within this country. I don't see him up there carrying a banner for things that we need to do to stop injustices and racism across these fruited plains. So he can miss me with that. That's what they want to hear. That we need to do something besides kneeling because they always want us to bend and kowtow to their needs to make them comfortable instead of us finally having some level of comfort. So fuck Jay Z telling us that we need to find a new way. Fuck you. You need to find a way. Period. He don't even have an old way. Much less talking about a new way. And see, all of the time these people seem to believe that having amassed a certain amount of money allows them to take on that mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy that the white people have. And when needed, white people will let you know real fast you do not have the mantle of white privilege or the breastplate of white supremacy. He can go somewhere and die the fuck slowly, like the rest of us black men and women across the through the plains are doing, dying at the hands of racist ass white people. So I don't want to hear nothing about Jay Z saying that we need to find a new way. He needs to find a way. He ain't did shit. Yeah, I saw it, Sticks girl. Watched it 3 times. I did. As a matter of fact, Sticks girl, in the news, Spike Lee is in the process of making a documentary about Colin Kaepernick for. It's supposed to come on ESPN, but Spike Lee is supposed to be directing a new documentary on Colin Kaepernick for ESPN. I just saw that, I believe, yesterday or today. So, but yeah, Jay Z can miss me with all of that. I'm sorry. I've been having sugar spike moments all morning. I blame y'all. I can't blame y'all. It's not y'all fault. Lord. Anyway, that was our update on. We'll keep you posted on the Brian Flores lawsuit. We're definitely going to stay. Um, as we are transitioning out of our sugar spike stories, thank you, sweet 7 pound, 3 ounce baby Jesus. I have a story that is some women, black women, you may find this sugar spiky, but some people you may not. So Tandy Newton is in the news today. Who is Tandy Newton? Let me remind you of what she looks like. And then you might be like, oh, her. That's her with the white, with her mom and her dad. All right, that's Tandy Newton. So she's having this moment of light skin guilt, I guess you would call it. I'm going to leave her picture up there. I want to play this sound bite of her when she talks about um prejudices that she's experienced and so forth. So I want to play this soundbite for y'all so y'all can hear her. I'm gonna leave her picture up there. She had a come to Jesus moment. The bowl. She had a come to Jesus moment. Child. Child. Why I can't pull this up? Jesus. God. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Hold on. Here it is. Let me. All right. Let me play the audio, not the video. All right.
You must have got my note, though. I put it on your truck yesterday. I now realize that my internalized prejudice was stopping me from feeling like I could play this role, when it's precisely that prejudice that I've received. It doesn't matter that it's from African American women more than anyone else. It doesn't matter. I received prejudice. Anyone who's received oppression and prejudice feels this character. I've wanted so desperately to apologize every day to darker skinned actresses, to say, I'm sorry that I'm the one chosen. My mama looks like you.
She starts crying here.
It's been very painful to have women that look like my mum feel like I'm not representing them, that I'm taking from them, taking their men, taking their work, taking their truth. But I do think that any women of color who, whether they're pale or whatever, who've managed to help other actors, get into this business, we matter. Whenever they say that Black women have watched the movie, and it's really, really, really matters to them. I just thank God that my light skin didn't stop that from happening. I'm so that it didn't cause more pain.
So there's a lot to unpack here because Tandy, while I hear you, boo, you fed into this a little, not a little, a lot. Even by you calling yourself Tandy instead of Tandiwe, which is and now in recent years, she's taken on her full African name instead of the shortened, whitewashed Tandy. You know what I'm saying? Child. Mind you, this is all about a role she got in a film called God's Country, where she's supposed to be playing a woman named Sandra, which is supposed to be loosely coming from the story of Sandra Bland. Child. It cut off right there. That was the part where it cut off. In the video that I saw. Diamond Pearl Gym. But I'm not here for you, Tandy, because you ain't have no problem saying roles that you knew were supposed to be for a darker woman. You still went and audition for those roles. I ain't see you carrying the banner and said, no, let me give this role to my darker sisters who's supposed to get that role anyway. There are several roles in her career that she got that were written for darker skinned women, and she had no problem taking them and had no problem cashing a check. And knowing that Sandra Bland is a darker skinned woman, girl, don't. Tandy girl, Tandy. Now, and she's crying these tears and saying, acting as if she's such a pioneer and I opened up roles for so many other dark skinned women. Wait, what? Because Tandy, last time I checked, before you came around, Black women had already started to make their mark in acting. Now, had you been around during the days of one Miss Hattie McDaniels and Lena Horne and Dorothy Dandridge and a whole bunch of other beautiful Black queens back then who suffered real racism, and not that you don't suffer real racism. Let me not diminish racism in any form. but who suffered some atrocities that you couldn't even speak of, and injustices that you can't even speak of. I don't know. It sounds like light skin guilt to me. That's what it sounds like, light skin guilt. But I see she cashing them checks though. No, she talked about saying that, black women felt bad that I was stealing their men or whatever. Girl, that's the part that would have. See, if I was a black woman, I would probably be more upset with her talking about her stealing our men. But how are you stealing black women's men if you're a black woman? Y'all see where I'm going with that? I don't know. Right. Like, girl, if you black, how are you taking their men? Y'all better make this make sense for me. Y'all better make this make sense for me. Because it don't. Child. This what y'all got going on. This is what y'all got going. Now, for my beautiful black queens in the chat, I'm gonna leave this to y'all. I listen. This is y'all fight. And I believe this to y'all. I really want y'all can put in the comment section um how y'all feel about this because I as a black man I can't really speak to how you all do feel, should feel, or whatnot because yeah, but mm, mm, I mean, mm, I don't know. And it could be a cultural difference from mixed race black people in America versus race black people in England. Because in England, it's much more people directly from Africa mixing with white English people. And so um, I, I don't know. I'm not bump T Diamond Pearl Jim. I don't know. I think listen, there's a conversation that to be had about that, and I would love to see a panel of beautiful black queens dissect this and really discuss this because a lot of things she said, I was like, "Hmm?" Hmm?" But I feel the way I feel, and I'm not in that sphere. I can only sit from the on the sideline looking like, ooh. Well, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. That's all I can really do. I can be an ally and I can say, you know what, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all, my beautiful black queens, and I am always here. Fighting windmill with y'all. Y'all just let me know what I need to do. I'm right here on the sidelines waiting for y'all to let me know what y'all want me to do. So I would just say, bless Tandy's hard child. I grew up surrounded by women who look like her and more and never heard them talking like yeah, it was just the way she was talking as if I don't even think she needed to come out and say that. As a black woman, if you get a role, then you go ahead and you say, "Yep, I went and I got the role. I'm not going to apologize for it. I was trying to get it. I meant to get it, and this is another example of a black woman that got a role." Now you out here feeling light skin guilt for no reason. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked you. Now you're talking about taking their man. Like really? Who man you took? Like, girl, now I want to know who man you took. Girl, who man she took? Because last time I checked, isn't she married to a white man? Let me look. I thought she was married to a white man. Let me look, y'all. Tandy Newton's. Hold on. husband. He's white. Like what? So who man she took? Like you out here cheating on your husband with the black man that you sleeping with under the cloak of night and cloak of darkness, covertly having sneaky links. I'm just she's crying because she probably as a child had to watch her mother endure all types of racism, and she has not had to endure a lot of that. I'm not saying she had to do any, rather she's done made it a point to remove herself from her mom in how she changed her name to something that sounds a little more European as opposed to African. She done made sure that, she can speak the Queen's English. She done made sure that she done married her a good white man and Harry have these white children. I'm just saying. And now you feeling guilt because you done alienated your mama. Oh, you all look like my mama. And she crying, really? Really? Where was all this energy before? We ain't asked for this. We really didn't. We wasn't checking for you, Tandy. We really was not. It is imitation of life syndrome, Lamone. It is. Like we weren't checking for you. Like we weren't asking for this. We ain't asked for this. You were not on our radar, Tandy. You know what it sounds like? She probably had a moment where she was quickly reminded by some white people that she is not black, and it made her feel some kind of way. And now she wants the black community to embrace her again. You know how these people do when they get, they feel like they done got out of being black and they wear the mantle of white privilege, the breastplate of white supremacy. And then they get reminded that they don't have it, and then they look for us black people to support and surround them and embrace them again. And so now she over here crying her light skin get girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, Tandy. But I told y'all that's not my fight. Black women, I'll let y'all fight that out. Y'all can go windmill. Child. Not that she can embrace these. Can I embrace these cams? Just let me know. If you need them embrace, embracing can happen. Right, we wasn't studying you, girl. Right, these things, girl. Nobody was studying you, girl, girl, girl. Anyway, that is helping us segue out of our sugar spiky moments. In other news, this news made me sad, but I think it was necessary. Cedric Yarbrough, who voices Mr. Dubois in Boondocks. He plays I think several voices in Boondocks. Um, had HBO had said that they were going to try to revive. There was supposed to be a revival of Boondocks some years ago. Cedric Yarbrough has come out and said, "Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's been 86 canceled." It kind of made me sad, but when you think about it, I don't think Regina King is going to be ready to do anything in the foreseeable future. I'm not saying forever, but probably for a while. Seeing that her son and because of her son and his demise, um, and she voices Huey and Riley. We know that John Witherspoon died, and so he was the voice of Granddad. And if you can't have Huey Riley and Granddad, like I was when I heard about it, I was like, well, how is that gonna happen if John Witherspoon is dead and John Witherspoon voices Granddad? So I was like, were they gonna kill Granddad off or something like that? Like I was trying to figure out because he's an integral part of the show, of the cartoon. So I was really wondering. So that's just a quick hit for y'all just to help us transition. So Cedric Yarbrough, who does a lot of voice work. If you and he's an actor too. If you remember him, Cedric Yarbrough is the black guy from Reno 911. If you watched Reno 911, he was the black guy in Reno 911. The one with the big eyes, that's him. I wanted to see Jennifer Lewis play their great aunt, but with Regina's situation, I knew, yeah, yeah. I heard some comments stated about white women. We hear that complaint in the black community directed towards white women. I think that's weirdness in her child. That whole statement about her. Yeah, I think Regina's going to need quite a bit of time. She's going to need some time. Like, it's going to be a while. And, rightfully so. I mean, that's a lot for her to deal with. So, doesn't look like there's going to be a revival of Boondocks right now. Um, and news that I just knew y'all would love to hear this. So let me just tell y'all this, give y'all this one, give y'all this good Kiki. Singer Kiera Shear says that she sends guests to to hotels to keep them away from her man. Child, let me read this from page 6, honey. Gospel singer Kiera Shear tells page 6 that when her girlfriends come to visit, she makes them stay at a hotel so that her husband isn't tempted to have sex with them. You need to be questioning your friends. Hey, Pinky Tiki girl, the problem is your friends and your man. Like, are these really your friends if they can't even come over and stay at your house because you scared they gonna sleep with your man? Are these really your friends then? Because if I'm home with my man, I can have my friends sleep over. And yeah, bitch. See, my friends not gonna play. I have real friends. My friends are not gonna play with me like that. Okay. Now, the question is, it looks like you don't trust your husband, but that still goes back to your friends. Because if my husband boyfriend tries to sleep with one of my friends, please believe my friends is coming to tell me, listen, you need to, this happened. I ain't do nothing. That motherfucker came and bothered me. You need to handle that. Child. Quote, my mama has already told me don't have too many people around your house. I don't care how good you trust them or whatever it is. I'm very mindful and careful. I would buy a friend a hotel room before I let them stay at my house. End quote. She told page 6. Now I'm gonna tell you where this come from. See, you brought your mama in this, and now we're going back down this, wayward road about your daddy, Bishop Sheard, who was cheating on your mama left, right, and sideways, and who you watched cheat on your mama left, right, and sideways. And you saw when women came in the household what was going on. And that's why you were triggered. And you saw alleged friends of your mama getting their back blown out by your daddy over the years. This Fiji water is so good. Extra good. Listen, if you went around back in the day with the blue, remember my blue thermos thermal cup, and I used to drink coffee on early on Sunday Saturdays. And I used to be like, this coffee is extra good, extra good. You got to go back to 2019 with that. If you've been rocking with me since 2019, you know about the coffee on Saturday mornings being extra good. Extra good. Child. Mama said, honey. Oh, you coming by? Okay, girl, I got you down here to the Hilton. Girl, here's your key card. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just send you an email and you can do digital key card. You don't even need to go. Girl, I already paid for the room. You don't even need to go to the front desk. Here's the email, and you can go ahead and download and have the digital key card. You ain't even got to stop at the front desk. Just going on in and go to your room, honey. Appreciate you. Oh, we going out? Yeah, girl, I'm coming right on over there, honey. We gonna have some good drinks, some good food, and a kiki right on over there. Girl, I got you a real big sweet honey, so we can have a good old time. Girl, I wanted to stop by your house. No, girl, that won't be happening. Isn't her husband like a doesn't he do like yard work or something like that? Or doesn't he have like a company where they cut the grass or whatever? Let me see. I thought I remembered that. I thought I remembered him being into like yard work or landscaping or something. Chad, kid. I mean, he's not ugly. He's not ugly now. I ain't gonna never say he's ugly. He's not ugly. But child, you a little too insecure, boo. Not to Southfield. Not that you sending them all the way from Detroit to Southfield. I mean, Southfield is not that far, but still. I got some friends from Southfield. But child, that's what she said last time. Um, child. Anyway, she's supposed to be in a movie coming up with Latoya Luckett and them called Lion Sisters. I saw that. It's coming out soon, like sometime this month. Child, hit the continental breakfast. Child. I don't like, girl. But doesn't it make it easier for him to go bang they back out if he knows that they at a hotel and he ain't got to do it at the house? Doesn't that make it easier? Like if y'all married, y'all probably got joint like credit cards and bank account. Could you just look and say, "Oh, you got a hotel at the Hilton"? Oh, okay, girl. Yeah, okay, going on over there. I mean, if you just real scared about the friend, um, cheating with your man, girl, there are ways around that. You can hit up a DM. Yeah, your wife put me over here at the Hilton. I'm in room 806. It's the suite. We hello from the other side. Grab some boxes of all the little apple jack. I'm not doing this with you, Jake. You know what small uh, boxes of pops, apple jacks, and frosted flakes with the little self-serve like you in kindergarten again. The little small little boxes, and the little small little carton of milk like you back in kindergarten. They always have the bananas, the apples, and the oranges over there too. Never no goddamn grapes. Never no goddamn pineapples. But they gonna have you some apples and oranges and some bananas. You hear me? Girl, Kiara said, girl, get some part of this good Best Western. Girl, I'll be over there next week. All right, girl, I got you over here at the Hotel 6, honey. Girl, you couldn't even get me a Four Seasons or nothing, girl. Girl, I can't get the W Hotel, JW Marriott, something. Girl, you ain't getting none of that. Girl, you getting this good Best Western. It's Motel 6. Now, if I want to step you up, I'll give you a good Hilton Garden Inn. You can get a Hilton Garden Inn, maybe a Homewood Suites. Yeah. Like, girl, how does that? And the other part about it is, I don't know. Like, it just seems so like a way out of the way. Like, why, girl? I mean, don't get it twisted. Um, I do have a rule because I've had like people stay with me or whatever when I've had a man, and I'll tell a bitch in a minute, bitch, when I leave, you leave. That's it. And when I say stay with me, it wasn't people who was like paying rent or whatever. It was like, sometimes you have friends that's on hard time. They, stay with you for a little bit, maybe sleeping on the couch or in your extra room or whatever. Bitch, when I leave, you leave. Because the last thing I'm going to do is have you around here home alone. Now, I agree with her on that. You ain't going to be in this house by yourself with him. That's what we not going to have. Now, I'm with you on that. 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. But, child. Baby, when I leave, every bitch and this bitch leaving too. Nah, what can I say? No, ma'am. No, God. Where I'm gonna go, baby? I don't know. I could drop you off at the public library, boo, and you can go in down there and read some books. Go ahead and get on the good Algorithm internet and find you a job so you can get out my house. Oh, you want to come, Cams? Come on, Cams. Cams, Cams, you're opening up this Pandora's box, Cams. You really? Cause see, you don't have to sleep on the couch. I got a king size bed. This room right here, Cams. This is big king size bed right here. I'm just saying. What are you waiting for? Like, why? What are you waiting for, sir? Don't tempt me with a good time, Cams. You already know. Do not tempt me with a good time. Anyway, I'm not. Y'all are silly, and that's why we love Silly Saturday. It's even better news. Listen, Lamar Odom is in the news not just because he made it to Celebrity Big Brother, but I'm gonna let y'all hear from him. I'm gonna let him tell you why he's in a new. I'm gonna just let y'all hear him say it out of his mouth, cause you gotta hear this. Can't get. Come on, computer, cause I done set you up, computer. I done set up the ball on the tee, and computer, you are failing me. See, this is now it's gonna be anticlimactic. Stupid computer. Way to go. Anyway, God, just never want to let me be great. So allegedly, as I wait for my raggedy ass computer to get its life in order. So not allegedly confirmed. Lamar Odom, while in the celebrity Big Brother house, shat on himself in bed. Oh yes. We have poopage in the bed. Lamar Odom pooped on himself, shat on himself while in bed. What is going on with my goddamn, like, it's nothing open. There we go. Let me let y'all hear him talk about it. Oh, you could have shit my bed. No, you didn't. I did. Have you seen what? Why in the world? They have their area? I just let the world know that I took a shit in my bed. What? I just let the world know I just took a shit in my bed. No, you didn't. I did. Have you seen what? Why in the world? They have their area? I just let the world know that I took a shit. What happened was, according to him, this is what Lamar said. Lamar says, my manager calls me a shit show for a reason. I actually suffer from lactose intolerance and IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. So last night's night snack on Big Brother CBS of beef jerky sticks, candy, and warm milk was a stomach ache waiting to happen. Hashtag shit happens. My fart turned sharp, and bam, I'm on TMZ live feeds in the house. The good thing is it didn't happen during a competition. The bad thing is Pepto Bismol hasn't reached out to me for an endorsement deal yet. What? Because I don't know people who have lactose intolerance or IBS to use Pepto Bismol. Pepto Bismol never works. And then, right, Vovo, you should know if you are lactose intolerant, I might go with you if you say, you know what, that cheese looked real good. I just wanted some cheese on my sandwich, so I had some cheese. Oh, but you drinking warm milk, baby, you are begging, begging to have a shit show. Baby, you are begging to turn into Pablo Picasso. Okay, girl. Poor Tanya, because he's in the room with Tanya Call. Girl. Listen, you can tell when somebody is sharp because that be them wet sounding farts. That don't sound like the dry kind that you know, okay, you good. That shit probably stink as hell, but you good. No, that shit probably sounded like ew. Yeah. I mean, you lactose intolerant and got irritable bowel syndrome. Like you wanted this to happen. Like you encouraged this. Child. Now I don't think that the Slim Jims caused that. Good for some good beef jerky. Ow. But girl, you out here drinking warm milk. I'm not even lactose intolerant. I don't drink warm milk. Girl. And what was Pepto Bismol gonna do for you? Pepto Bismol ain't never helped nobody with nothing. I remember as a child, we used to keep a bottle of Pepto Bismol in the medicine cabinet. And whenever you had a stomach ache, take this Pepto. That shit was nasty as hell and never did anything. My stomach was still hurting. It never stopped it from hurting. It never stopped whatever I had going on downstairs. Child. Not let his booty loose. Well, a lot of things might be wrong when you have years and years and years of doing illicit drugs and various amounts of erectile dysfunction drugs. These things are not alleged. These things have been, confirmed. Remember down there to the Las Vegas ranch when he almost died because he had, copious amounts of erectile dysfunction drugs and other illicit drugs combing through his system. I mean, your back door gave up a long time ago. Said, girl, it's whatever. Girl, your booty hole said a long time ago. Girl, I ain't here for this. I ain't here for you. And then you try. Girl, I've been keeping it together through this whole Celebrity Big Brother. Try not to embarrass you. But girl, you tried it with this warm milk. Girl, you gave me warm milk and thought this was gonna go well. Girl, fuck you and fuck your life. Girl, you gonna get all parts of this. Girl, let the rivers flow. Listen, like Tony Braxton said, well, let go. I'll let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Everything's gonna work out right, you know. Come on, let it flow. Ow, ow. I'm not doing this with y'all. Oh, right, little baby. So he planned this for. I mean, if you said Imodium AD, now Imodium AD works. Pepto Bismol, not as much. Ammonium AD, yes. Pepto Bismol, no man. I ain't never had Pepto Bismol work for me. Girl, that booty hole said a long time ago, girl, I here for you. You tried me, warm milk, knowing what we got going on. Girl, okay, girl. Okay, girl, okay. You finna get all of this. Just let go. Ow! Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Everything's gonna work out right, you know. Oh, dear God. Y'all got Rembrandt over there. Listen, you could have went over there to Todrick and said, Todrick, help me clean my booty hole. Because Todrick probably has expertise in cleaning that good booty hole for all of the white men that he be taking up the booty shoot. Up the booty shoot. The booty shoot. Up the booty shoots. Oh, the booty shoots. Up the booty shoots. Oh, the booty shoot. Up the boot. Why y'all got me over here being silly? Why, God? Why y'all got me over here being silly? Because it's Saturday and that's what we do. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, girl. That's just nasty. I mean, that's not like one of my exes. Whenever he went number three, whenever he took a shit in the bathroom, like that was his thing. You knew he was gonna take a shower every time he took a shit. He wasn't just gonna wipe. He was gonna go take a whole shower every single time. To this day, I could call him right now. He gonna be like, "Yeah, you know, I still take a shower every." That's just what he does. This ain't that case, bitch. You over there swimming in fecal matter in the goddamn bed. I know Todrick Hall was over there like this, like. Because there's one thing when somebody fart and it be stuck, it'd be like, it's another thing when it's actual poopage. And you be like, wait a minute. Because you know he probably heard that loud ass, wet ass fart. He was like sniffing around, woke up. What the hell? The hell? Bitch, if you don't get your dirty ass girl, I'm not doing this with y'all. Nope. Up the booty shoot. Oh, the booty shoot. Up the booty shoot. Oh, the booty shoot. Oh, I'm just saying. I'm moving on. We've had enough fecal matter for one Saturday. Did I get through all my stories? Oh, I did have one other sugar spiky moment. Um, okay, I'm gonna do one more sugar spike moment, and then we're gonna do one last story, and then we out. This is gonna be a quick sugar spike moment. I told y'all. I bet they had to remove the whole bit. Child. And that's a because Lamar Odom is like 6'10, 6'11. So that's a big ass bed. And that's a lot of real estate with which to just let it flow. It does. That smell just it like singes your nostril hairs. I'm just telling you. Real quick sugar spike story. I told y'all there was going to be an attack on all black women across the fruited plains. So Senator Kennedy, John Kennedy, out of the great Republican out of the great state of Louisiana, they had to use the sanitized option on the washer. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing this with y'all today. Nope. So I'm just gonna read y'all with what this young man said. Senator John Kennedy of the great state of Louisiana, in an interview with Salon magazine, said, number one, I want a nominee who knows a law book from a J. Crew catalog. I'm sorry, he said that to Politico on Tuesday. We all need at least a 2-year vacation from the Martin Child. We do, Lamont. So yeah, Senator John Kennedy seems to believe that if a black woman is nominated for the Supreme Court, she won't be able to tell a law book from a J. Crew catalog. Mind you, that black woman probably knows more law than you've ever known in your lifetime. But he's going to reduce this black queen to I want a nominee who knows a law book from a J. Crew catalog. Please be clear. If it's a beautiful black queen, she ain't shopping at J. Crew. You rat ass, racist ass bastard. Go sleep in a bed with Lamar Odom. You go do that. I can't even be serious on my sugar spike moment no more because of Lamar Odom and his poopage. I blame y'all. I'm getting off this story. Moving on. Our last story of the day. Dear God. Our last story of the day. Cha. You would have burnt, burnt all that, throw it on a pile. Yeah, throw it on a pile. Throw it on a pile. So, in preparation, are black women not the most child, child, child? Amy Coney Barrett is there, and I'm surprised she could still spell her name at this point. But you ain't had no problems with her. Child, I ain't going down this road with John Kennedy. Anyway, in preparation for Valentine's Day, Build a Bear. Oh yes, the Build a Bear, the teddy bears, Build a Bear. Old school, been around for a long time. They are coming out with their own line of adult sexy Build a Bears. Now, if you're gonna make adult sexy Build a Bears for Valentine's Day, are they gonna be anatomically correct? I just want to know. Are they going to be anatomically correct? Because that's important. They posted on Facebook, wink, wink, our gift shop is full of gifts for adults too. Shop Build a Bear After Dark for unique ideas that are sure to get you hugged. The Build a Bear After Dark concept was announced on its Facebook page earlier this week. It's clearly a Valentine's Day related play. Um, Thankfully, the actual bears themselves aren't too explicit, but I'm not sure whether it would have been better for a Build a Bear team to go in all in on. That's what I'm saying. They should have went all in. Like if you won't go and have Build a Bear After Dark, make them anatomically correct. I'm just saying. Speaking of anatomically correct, Cams, you keep flirting, and I'm going to see you in the DMs. Cams, you really want to go down this road? I'm just saying. So if you need, you can get you a Build a Bear teddy bear for your mate and for your Valentine and go from there. First and foremost, a black woman will direct you to Chanel. Right. While reciting the Constitution. Right. Child, I ain't going there with John Kennedy. I'm not going there. So that's Build a Bear. Listen, if you want to go back and hear my sugar spikes over Amir Locke, we're going to monitor the Amir Locke story. We're going to continue to monitor Amir Locke. We're going to continue to monitor the Brian Flores situation and so forth. We've come to the end of our road for this week's edition of Silly Saturday. Saturday. I have enjoyed y'all today. Epic silly Saturday again. Great time had by all. So glad that you were here with me. As I always say, I'm hungry now. You listen. I need to go. Y'all know what I'm about to go hopefully get me. Let me go check. I'm gonna hopefully go get me some crabs. I want some crabs. I haven't had crabs in a while. So I'm gonna go and try to get me some crabs um for lunch and enjoy those after we don't put in some good work over. We don't put in some good work here for Silly Saturday. I hope y'all enjoyed. But alas, I am hungry. I am hungry. So I'm about to go get some lunch. Today, as I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to me and or the channel. It is much obliged and much appreciated. I am always here for y'all. Hey, MBN, popping out the bushes again. Um, so yeah, I almost don't want to click off, but I gotta go. I'm hungry, y'all. I'm hungry, so I kind of want to stick around for y'all, but I don't got hungry. Like my stomach is growling, not the kind of growling that the Ma Odom got going on over there, letting it flow from the booty shoot. Ow, the booty shoot from his booty shoot. Ow, the booty shoot. I'm gonna get that song stuck in y'all head. The booty shoot, the booty shoot. Anyway, and thank you for finding healthy comment. Child, Lamont, that's why I'm here. That is why I'm here. Um, what was I about to say? And y'all are never gonna listen to Tony Braxton's "Let It Flow" again the same. Okay, y'all not gonna hear it again and not think of Lamar Odom letting it flow from his booty shoot. Out of the booty shoot from his booty shoot. Lamont, that's your next great hit right there, Lamont. I know you can turn the booty shoot into listen. That could be a chart topper. I'm just trying to give you ideas here, Lamont. You are the singer. Just give you ideas. The booty shoot. The booty shoot. This is why people are not nice to me, okay? Anyway, y'all stay vigilant, y'all stay active, y'all stay vocal, y'all always monitor. Lamont said, nah, I'm good. I'm not doing no booty shoots. Damn. Anyway, um, y'all stay vigilant, y'all stay active, y'all stay informed and so forth. And I'll try to keep you all informed as much as I can. Y'all always sending me stories and sending me stuff, and I want y'all to know I do use them and stuff like that. So please continue to do that. That's all I got for y'all. I think until next time. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get out, I forgot to put some Shondos in the chat. Let's yeah, not Doodoo Brown. 2022, you know what? Not Doodle Brown. Mm-mm. 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 Shondo's in and out the chat. Shondo's around the building. Y'all stay safe. Um, don't get the cocoa. Don't get the cocoa. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.